All right, welcome back. If you haven't noticed, this is a little bit of different setup. My friend here, Pagan, is a VTuber. Yeah, I'm pointing at the right side. Cool. Um, and I will introduce her a little bit more here in a second. But I'm going to be drinking the best Irish whiskey in the world. Do you know what that is? Pagan?
I think if it's anything other than Tullamore Dew, you're doing it wrong.
Wrong. Jameson. I'm drinking
Ah,
Jameson. Uh, and I told you I had a special ice ball. It's melted. It's because we've been sitting here doing this. But this is a 20-sided die ice cube. And I figure I'd bust that out because you're a nerd.
that that is incredibly appropriate. I approve.
You're way bigger tabletop nerd than I am, which is one thing we'll touch on later. But anyways, if you haven't noticed, I'm not sitting here talking to someone on a web camera. I'm sitting here talking to my friend here who is a VTuber. A VTuber is someone that it's kind of like a virtual avatar. So like they do YouTube videos or stream like on Twitch or anything like that. It is tied to their movement. I don't know a whole lot about it. We became friends a few weeks ago. For anyone that watches me on Twitch or Jammy Giraffe or is in our Discord, there's actually a handful of VTubers in there, but so far, Pixie's the only one that's been, I don't know, in and out of our streams, jumps around, being supportive. She's actually not just in there promoting her own shit. Well, one, she also hasn't debuted yet, which will be debuting on Monday, correct?
Yeah, actually, I should be debuting before this video comes out.
Yes,
I
because
think.
I told you I would debut the day after, or put this video out the day after you debuted. Uh, but anyways, I wanted to bring her on, and I wanted one of the things I wanted to discuss is like the VTubing thing. At first, so let me stop rambling about her. Pagan, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, hello everybody. I am Pagan Pixie, and as Rogue has pointed out, I am a VTuber, which means I'm just naturally better than all of you, and that's just that.
Fucking crazy.
But seriously, I'm a gamer. I am a druid, both canonically and in real life, and a lot of my content focuses on that. I'm also a huge tabletop nerd, so guess that's me in a nutshell.
If you haven't noticed, she has an accent like everyone so far I've had on my podcast. Um, and she is from Holland.
I am. I am. I've got like the giant clogs and everything. It's awesome, really.
Would it be fair to say you're Irish American?
I think that would be a fair estimation, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. With that hard Dutch accent you have.
I do. I I find myself struggling to like come up with any Dutch stereotypes except for the giant clogs.
Clogs
Maybe if I had like braids with flowers in them or something.
and a few windmills in the room.
Oh yeah, windmills. Oh, why didn't I even think of that? Ah, crap. Yeah.
So, getting into the VTuber thing, me and you had a very long drunk discussion. Now, I don't know if you were drinking that night. I was very drunk. Um, by the time we stopped talking, uh, you used to stream before, correct?
I did. Yep.
Okay, and you stopped that, and you, I forget who you ran into first. I think it was Jammy first. You
It was jammy.
okay?
Yeah. Is it okay to like shout him out right quick?
Oh,
Cause
oh yeah.
uh, I actually ran into a post I was on Twitter looking at support small streamers, and I saw a tweet that he had made being like, I'm going live. Let's see some new faces. Support small streamers, and I was like, I'm a new face. I can do this. And I jumped into his stream and was like, hey, what's up? I'm, someone. And that's how I met you.
Yes.
Because Jammy actually, well, I guess you do too, and maybe I do. I don't know. Jammy has this awesome Discord community that he's got going on, full of like small streamers that are just starting out or on different, like points of their journey, where everyone like supports each other and everything else. And I want to say, like, within maybe 15 minutes or so of meeting Jammy during his stream, he turned me onto it and was like, hey, you should come join the Discord, get to know everybody. And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And to be perfectly honest with you, I know a lot of people are probably the same way. I will join any Discord ever.
I'm not.
I will not stay necessarily. But I'll always join and see what it's about. Usually, within like 2 hours or so, I'm already gone from the Discord, just various reasons. But this one, I have had no reason to leave, and instead have had every reason to stay. And the people that I've met through this Discord are phenomenal. Like, I've met you, which is yay! Let me do that. Can I? VTuber Kawaii, yay!
Yeah, it worked. You got the jiggle in there.
Oh yeah, you like the jiggle.
Yeah, that's neat. It's real neat. Giggity giggity.
Fun fact: I didn't ask for the boing boing physics, but my rigger decided they were something I needed, so they're here now.
And that's what you appreciates about Sim.
Look at the boing boing. There it is.
That's another good thing with the pointing one. Like, look at him. The boing boings.
Look at my boing boing physics. You love them. I know. Yeah.
So you jumped into Jamie. You've found this community that's pretty damn good. Obviously, like I'm biased of it because of what it has wrought me. And other people, and just to be frankly honest, and you were getting bratty with us the other night about us throwing your stuff out, like not throwing it out, but I can't. I'm losing. Promoting you. You're like, no, don't do it.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, I don't want you to like that's what we're there for. Like, we're actually super excited to see what you're gonna put out there. Like I said, there's other VTubers in the Discord, but they're not, as far as I know, they're not that active as in supporting each other. I mean, granted, not everyone is in big support of each other. I jump into whatever I can when I can, along with doing my stuff. But I think, and of course, me and him talked about this earlier tonight, is we're super excited to see what your content's going to bring, just because you're super motivated about it. You're super excited about it. Fucking hell. Excuse me. And it's just, your shit seems to be a little bit more together, because you've been showing us updates. Your animation's a little bit more there. Like, you're moving, your hands, eye movement, your mouth moves, which is super cool. That you also, just for this, by the way, this is how fucking cool she is, people. She obviously made this background, the desk, the microphone. She did this to mimic all of this. Uh,
You know, like, I hate the way I have to jump in. I'm sorry. I hate the way you had to put it on blast because I was just going to be like, I really appreciate you setting up this awesome bit of your room here. Like, this is a great setup you've got here for your podcast.
yeah, I'm.
10 out of 10.
Yes, well, let's just act like I never said any of that shit and be like, yeah, you're welcome for me setting up this shit for you. Uh, listen,
When
sometimes
Rogue
this.
invites you on the podcast, he really rolls out the red carpet.
Yes. If you can tell, exact same wall that's behind me. You know what's funny is that poster you put up. I actually have a real life size movie poster of it at the bottom of the stairs over here.
See, it's like I've been to your house or something. Dun dun dun.
You know what? That actually, I know we make jokes about my basement, but that's actually sounds creepy. like you've been to my house without me knowing about it.
Well, I mean, I never sleep really, so
I've noticed
eh.
that. uh, but back to the VTuber thing. Why VTube? Like, what compelled you to to do like an animated avatar instead of doing what what every other person in the fucking world does and puts themselves personally out there. I mean, some people don't even have web cameras when they stream or do YouTube shit. But I'm just, for the most part, I'm like every other jerk off, like Jammy and Ginner and Blub and Turkey Leg. What compelled you to do this? What drove you? What are the reasons that drove you? I know it's more than one reason why you wanted to do this.
So, you touched on it briefly. I did actually used to stream just me and my face, and all of that. And there's a couple of different reasons why VTubing really appealed to me. The first being, of course, I am a huge, huge, absolutely huge roleplay nerd. So this was just kind of a natural extension of that, where, I could literally be anyone. Like, there are VTubers out there. There is one VTuber out there VTubing as a pot of grass, like just a potted plant. So I loved the roleplay aspect of it, but realistically, more than that, and I don't want to be like, oh, being a woman on the internet is so hard. But objectively speaking, it was something that I ran into when I was just streaming as a person, being objectified to the point where, I would have a bunch of viewers, and that was great and fantastic, and I was super appreciative of it. But when your viewers are there just because, oh my god, you're a girl and you're kind of attractive and you speak with this accent and I kind of want you to whisper me sweet nothings, but when someone is there for that reason and not because they actually enjoy what you're doing or the content that you're putting out, it's I'm not really sure how to describe that, but it's very discouraging and it's awful. Um, it's it's not something that I wanted to do or that I wanted to continue to feed into or to perpetuate. And for those streamers that are out there that are like, "Hey, I'm a pretty girl and that's my whole shtick," that's cool. Like, you do you. Congrats. I'm happy for you, but that's not for me. Um, so I figured having this avatar, which, if you're into the anime thing, if you kind of like what the avatar's got going on and that's what does it for you, cool. Um, but there's kind of a lack of personalization there. Like, if you want to objectify my avatar, go ahead. It's an avatar. It's not me that you're objectifying. Uh, so it, those kind of reasons is why I was like, you know what? I've always wanted to be a streamer. I think I have what it takes. I definitely have the dedication. Let's do it.
All right. Now you touched on something. Like I kind of want to touch on just because I knew you would bring this up. Uh, the objectification, and just as a obviously, you all can see how fucking handsome I am. And that's a lie. Like I understand what I am. I understand what I look like. I have to try and be charming or funny. So I like the avenue that you're taking, and I'm not doing this to kiss your ass. Like I like the like I have. By the way, I have no fucking clue what she looks like. She like the anonymity is real with her. We chat all the time. The She wanted to prove like she's not a ginger to me. She does have red hair. By the way, if you have any type of red hair, you're a fucking ginger. Don't let her dissuade you on
Oh
this.
my god.
She sent me a picture and she scratched out everything in the picture except for her hair, just to show me that she's a dark auburn redhead. And
Okay.
I'm like, you're just you're a fucking ginger. You're a ginger. So any type of red hair, pale skin, ginger. That's it. But I like I highly respect that. I on a lower sense have a bit of respect for people that that do use their sexuality, even men. Like there's one person, I'm not going to use her name because I don't want to give her credit. She already does very well for herself, and she does use her sex, as far as I see, to propel herself on Twitch and social media and shit. She's a very beautiful girl, but it doesn't seem to fit her. I could be totally wrong. I could be biased. That's why I'm not going to name her, because I don't want to give her any negative press or seem like I'm shit talking her if it does make the rounds. But that, like, shit like that, like the titty streamers, yes, there's nothing wrong with using your sexuality or if you're fit and good looking, using that to do what you want to do. I absolutely find nothing wrong with it. If you want to be a sex worker, fucking go do that shit. Rock that shit. You got OnlyFans, fucking do that shit. But this next one, I'm actually gonna name her by name because I totally respect her. Is Paladin Amber. She's an Australian streamer. She's a fucking little fireball of sass. She is very attractive, but she's fucking entertaining. She's actually entertaining. This other person, to me, is not entertaining, like, at all. She's just hot. She's just attractive. Like Paladin Amber, she's attractive. That's a plus, but the content she puts out is fucking cringe sometimes, or it's just funny. She's shitting on the thirsty boys coming into her fucking streams, or just funny shit. Like she used to, like, I would tweet at her sometimes, and like she'd have a go with me, or I used to go on her streams every once in a while, and she'd have a go because I'd say some stupid shit, but nothing like sexist or like, oh, show your tits or anything. Someone photoshopped her as a banana, and I'm just like, I said something, I'm like, about it not being photoshopped, and like, so it was a whole big joke like that. That I respect, and like some of her the accounts that follow her, like Paladin Amber says things, or people at Photoshop people were fucking like kind of attacking me, and she's like, I went in her stream, she goes, do you mind if we make a joke out of this? Like, I don't fucking care as long as it's a joke. And then people laid off me, but shit like that, like, I've got even more respect for. So like, if you can do this, there's more respect from me, and I'm sure for some other people too. The fact that you're not going to use your gender or sexuality to try to jump steps and where you want to go is I think very commendable.
Thank you.
And this platform, because I mean, let's just be honest. You're pandering to fucking video game nerds and just nerds in general, which are very
I just want to say I love the video game nerds. Don't take that negatively.
I'm not like, and don't take me wrong either. Like it's a subculture that generally is very, how do I want to put this? Although it has changed since, I'm 37 years old, so like back when I was a teenager in my early 20s, it's like, oh, you guys never get laid. It's like, well, we do. Not probably like a lot of people thought we did, but for the most part, you're just like, oh, nerds, and like you're always putting women on like a much higher pedestal. Like, oh, madame, let me lay down in a mud puddle for you and shit.
Tips fedora.
Yeah. So that's what you're kind of pandering to, and because it's online, like a lot of people, the whole anonymous thing, like a lot of people say and do some horrible shit, and especially when it comes to women, they really say horrible shit to women, whether it be in a Twitch chat room, a Chatterbait chat room, on Twitter, Instagram, what have you.
Oh, they really, they really, really do.
Are you okay? It looks like you're having a seizure.
I was just thinking about some of the just awful things that I've had said to me, that like female friends of mine have had said to me. If you're one of those people and you know who you are, like, look at me. Stop it. Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
I love that. That is so fucking great when you do that. Yeah, just don't do that shit. When I started streaming, like started my journey of full-time streaming, I had someone come in to my chat room that was male, and wanted to talk about sexual shit. And I'm like, I had to eventually go, hey man, I'm not kink shaming you. I'm not talking shit in any way. I go, but this isn't the place for this. I go, if you need help, I'll talk to you off air. I go, do you want it? And I asked him, I go, do you want me to help you? Do you need help? I go, but otherwise, I don't need to hear about your kinks when I'm playing a video game. No one wants to see that shit either. It wasn't like this morning when one person came in because I used a tongue-in-cheek sexual reference for my stream title. It was literally like, I really like getting beat and getting stabbed almost when I'm having sex. I'm like, we don't need to know that. Like, that's inappropriate. Like, if someone comes in and like, obviously, from my streams, like, there's nothing wrong with making perverted jokes within reason or saying shit like that. But if you're doing it, this guy was obviously coming in to do it to get off for some reason. And there's places for that, and some, like, that's the first time I've ever had to deal with it.
Yeah.
And like, I just put a kibosh on it. I mean, granted, I'm not a woman, and I just go, hey man, that's cool, that's your thing. Either you can stop, I'll kick you out, or if this is a problem for you, I'll find help for you. But if not, let's just kind of keep this jokey and fun.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a difference between, like, I'm going to say something not say so, or something perverted as a joke because it fits in the moment, like, comedically, like, it's topical to the conversation, it's part of what's happening, like, it fits and it makes sense. But just to, like, pop into someone's stream and be like, oh, you have a vaguely, possibly sexual reference. Let me come in and be like, hey, it's super sexy time. That's definitely annoying. There are places to do that kind of stuff, but Twitch is not the place. And I know I'm not the only one. Like, I don't want to like beat it with a dead stick or anything, but like, personally, like, from a personal perspective, I dealt with a lot more of that than like is even reasonably necessary, if that makes any sort of sense. Just from the fact that I was a chick. Like, oh, you are clearly female. I mean, not gonna lie, kind of cute. But uh, just because like I was a girl, I would get that a lot more often. Um, it's not right for anybody, like guy, girl, non-binary, whatever have you. Like, it's not right to have people come in and just be like, "We're going to talk about sex now, whether you like it or not." Not cool.
Yeah,
Just
that's
stop that, people.
yeah,
Stop
that
it.
definitely definitely don't do that shit. Um, just as a streamer, and obviously, like I said, and I've only had to deal with the one time. Um, and it doesn't matter whether I say this shit or not, or you agree with me and you say it. Time and place is for shit. If you come in and the streamer's talking about sexual experiences, just as an anecdote, that's fine. Throw your 2 cents in. Uh, if that's what the vibe is, but just coming in and saying sexual shit just to say sexual shit, no, don't come in. And like I thought about doing a titty stream, just to be fucking funny, but I don't. I know I can get away with it with the TOS, but the Twitch TOS, but I'm just like, I'm not even gonna fuck with that.
I'm gonna sidetrack you here.
Okay.
I was actually the other day looking through, like, I was just browsing. Like, I'm the kind of person where I like to jump into smaller streams. Like, if no one that I follow is on or streaming, uh, I like to just go in, and I usually filter by like lowest viewers, and I like to pop into someone who doesn't have a bunch of viewers going on, and maybe interact with them a little bit, give them something to like bounce off of. Um, but I was browsing, and I was getting really frustrated, really frustrated. I was in the just chatting category, and I was scrolling and scrolling, and every female like streamer that was on at this particular time of day, you know what kind of streamer they are. Like, and they know what they're doing. But I was just scrolling and I was getting really frustrated. I was like, come on, guys, like, somebody's got to be out here generating actual content. And I was getting a little upset. I was like, really, this is all we have to offer, really. And as I was scrolling, I came across this one thumbnail, and it was of a very large gentleman, um, and he was wearing a teddy, like just a lingerie, lacy blue. It was blue at the time, just a lacy blue teddy. It was very ill-fitting. It was kind of funny, but his tagline was, "If all the girls on Twitch can do this, so
So
can
can
I."
I.
And I just thought that was the cleverest thing that I had ever seen.
I like that because
And
I've thought about doing something like that to
I
take the
actually
piss.
jumped into his stream, and I had to toss him a follow and be like, "My guy, the title of your stream was exactly what I was thinking. Kudos to you." And he was actually like super entertaining too, which was awesome. But yeah, as far as TOS goes, like, this guy's going at it. I checked through some of his VODs. Like, he wears a different teddy every day. Like, shout out to you, man. You're rocking it. So I would like now to start a petition to make Rogue stream in a lacy lingerie teddy. If anybody would like to join me in this petition, you can go ahead and like comment below and tell him, how much you would enjoy seeing that. Thanks.
All right, so I will give you I'll give you that. If you can get one person to comment, even if you're the one that started, to go, I want Rogue in a teddy for a stream, and you can get 100 thumbs ups on that, I will do it.
Okay, So I'll definitely make sure to comment. I want to see Rogue and a Teddy. 100 thumbs up. Oh, gosh. All right. Everybody watching this video, you need to scroll through, find that comment down below, and hit the thumbs up. I mean, obviously, send a reply to tell him what color Teddy you would like to see him in. But hit that thumbs up button so that I don't have to go and make 100 YouTube accounts to make this
Oh,
happen.
you can't
Thanks.
cheat. You can't cheat like you usually do.
Oh god, that's gonna follow me for like ever, I
Oh,
swear.
yeah. It will.
I can just see it now, like 5 years from now, when I'm like super big, because I'm kind of a big deal, guys. You know, people are still gonna just be coming out of the woodwork, be like, "Oh, Pagan, you're such a cheater."
Remember that time you won marbles coming in super late, and then the next day you won all the quiplashes.
Listen, as far as Quiplash goes, you voted for me. That's not my problem.
You know what the bad thing is like 70% of the time I knew which ones were yours. So I'm like, fuck, but it's still the better one. I'm like, god damn it. I'm just not gonna throw it.
I can't help it if I'm quippy.
You were not today though.
First of all right, as far as today goes, there's two factors. One, I was sober.
So was I.
I made it clear I am not quippy when I'm sober. And second, like, no shades at all to anyone that was there, but the quality of humor that went over better with that group was yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that.
Oh, okay. I guess I was a little too raunchy for someone. I'm sorry. I was in it to win it. Just saying.
I mean,
I didn't even know half those people, so
exactly. I didn't either. I just kind of showed up for support. Like, I saw Jammy. This is another thing that's like great about Jammy's Discord, is even if we don't know you, if you're there, we're gonna show up and support you, and you know, hopefully try to get to know you a bit. But I just saw the Discord go out saying that this person was streaming. They're doing Jackbox, let's go, and like a tidal wave, everybody just started showing up and was like, heck yeah, let's play some Jackbox.
And you lost today. It's okay.
I mean, now I know not to try to be clever and just put the word fart in every answer and I will win.
But you won on raunchy shit the other day, so.
But it wasn't just straight raunchy, though. Like, there was...
It was quippy.
Innuendo. There was innuendo. Like, there were several layers. I wasn't just like, penis, ha 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 ha.
Tomato, potato. Have you figured out why I say that yet?
No.
No?
I feel like it's some sort of reference to Aqua Teen Hunger Force, but...
It's not. It's actually pretty simple. It's pretty simple. Once you figure it out, and I'm not going to give you any clues. Like, it's pretty dumb. It's pretty dumb.
I mean, I hate tomatoes, so I won't be thinking about it too hard, if I'm perfectly honest with you.
I mean, they're better than potatoes, so...
They are not. You shut your filthy mouth, sir.
That's very Irish of you.
Well, I do happen to be a proper Irish lass, and you best not be dissing potatoes, because, how do you say it? Those there be fighting words. Alright, we're good to go.
That and you're just bad fishermen.
I don't want to get into like a whole
I'm just
whole lesson here.
I'm taking the piss. I'm
I
taking the
don't want to
piss.
get into a whole lesson about culture, so I'll just politely allow all that conversation to go.
All right. You know I'm just fucking with you. So, uh, I have got Irish. I've got more Irish blood in me than anything else. So, uh, I can make fun of it. So, you know. Uh, so, uh, so yeah, we like the whole VTube thing. We're super excited for this for you debuting because you're seeming a little bit more animated. What is your content gonna be like?
So I actually have two sort of halves, I guess, to my content. So we're going to have the Twitch side, and we're going to have the YouTube side. For the YouTube side, I am a druid, I've mentioned. Canonically and also in real life, I am a druid, also known as a Celtic pagan. This is my belief system. I grew up this way. I've experimented around a little bit, looked into other stuff, and this is really where I fit. Unfortunately, as an adult, and leaving the community that I grew up in, I found that my particular like faith and customs aren't very widespread. So finding a new grove, as they're called, is very difficult. And I've also found over the past handful of years or so that there's quite a few people that are very interested in Druidry and that whole deal. So I am going to be producing content for your modern day Druids. We're going to go over lore and mythology and methodology, and we're also going to take a look at how to apply concepts of Druidry to everyday life and perspectives. Because the essence of faith, I think, is a lens that you're going to look at the world through. So we're going to spend some time trying to look through the lens of Druidry at the world. As far as Twitch goes, because those are some heavy, heavy concepts, we're going to make it a little bit more lighthearted and a little bit more fun. We're going to play some games, and we're really going to focus on decision-based RPGs for the most part, and see how we can apply some of our perspectives to decisions within games and see how that goes for us. And also, we're going to go on a darker side and do some horror decision based games because what's better than seeing all the ways people can die? Uh, so yeah, that's going to be, most of my content. Of course, I do really look forward to doing community nights and stuff like that with people, playing games and just doing like Jackbox stuff, maybe some golf with friends, some Cards Against Humanity, whatever people are feeling, just to have fun.
Excellent. I like I said, I'm excited to see what starts out on Monday, um, and this is a good segue because you brought up the whole RPG thing. You're big into like tabletop gaming.
I am a total tabletop role play nerd. I just have to say, I love the trend in the past few years or so where like Dungeons and Dragons has exploded, and it went from this thing that was like derogatory, people would make fun of you, be like, "Oh, what level are you, dungeon master?" To everybody and their brothers playing D&D. Everybody loves it, uh, but sadly, people don't seem to realize that there's a whole world of other RPGs out there that are like D&D, that are similar, that are not at all like D&D as well. Um, a lot of those RPGs tend to get overlooked because, well, Dungeons and Dragons is the big name that everybody's heard for years.
That's
So
that,
I don't.
that's kind of become, yeah, it's like, oh, you play in D&D. Like I didn't get into tabletop gaming until really like about 10 years ago. And not like as in RPG tabletop like D&D, but like Munchkin cards, like boss battle, super fight, shit like that. And about 4 years ago, a guy that used to work for me got. He's like, hey man, he's like super hardcore in the D&D. Actually, it's a she now. She doesn't know. I know she went through a transition, but um, she,
Kudos to her. I just have to like.
yeah,
I have to acknowledge. Kudos to the mysterious her. I'm so happy for you. Okay.
yes, I'm happy for her too, and I wish her her the best. But got us into fuck, what's it called? It's a sci-fi D&D, or RPG. I can't remember the fucking name of it, but I actually like. I fell in love with tabletop RPG. Like, Grant, I can't be a dungeon master. There's just one that's too much work for me that I'm willing to do. But I love the just the customization, and then this like all the stupid little nuances when you're going through a campaign. When you're doing things of like, and I know you DM shit or run campaigns at
I
least.
do. Yeah.
Is like sometimes you like you might want to ask this question, or you got any other questions you want to ask, or do you want to look through pockets, or now granted he was doing this with people that were pretty new. There's only like one other person in this campaign that had been playing like tabletop RPGs for years. So he helped us along the way. Now if he was with a veteran crew, he would have never fucking did that shit.
Yeah.
But I fell in love with it. Like now with like COVID and like a few things just in my personal life, like we don't do that. Like that shit doesn't happen anymore. Like I bought Arkham Horror, which is
Oh.
a huge, like literally the box weighs like 40 pounds. It's a huge fucking board. It is a D&D, but you'll get like a random, like at the beginning of each game or campaign, you have to pick, like you randomly get like a class, and then those get spells or whatever, weapons, blah blah blah. And it's a little bit more structured or less structured, and it's more linear than a D&D campaign. I've just never, it cost me $60 and I never even fucking played it. Just because COVID happened.
Well, that actually sounds awesome. I have not heard of that game before, but it sounds very cool.
It does, because it's an eldritch horror, and it has every fucking eldritch god there is. It's like Cthulhu, Shoggoth, and
You know,
all
there
those.
is a tabletop game. I don't know if you've heard of it or if you've played it, but it's actually called Call of Cthulhu.
Yes, actually, this would go along with Call of Cthulhu, because it's Arkham from the Cthulhu mythos, that city.
Ah, okay.
So it is. I think it's actually the same people that made. I think that made Call of Cthulhu as this tabletop, and you're talking about the tabletop Call of Cthulhu, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, because there actually last year a video game came out called Call of Cthulhu.
Oh.
So
See, I run into that time myself because I am a Vampire the Masquerade nerd, and I love it. I love it so much. But a handful of years back now, they made Vampire the Masquerade Bloodline. And I hear there's a second one coming. But most people hear like, "Oh, I play Vampire the Masquerade," and they immediately think of the video game.
Yes, because when you said that to me, and I'm like, I know she's not talking about the video game.
Yeah, everyone thinks about the video game, but no.
Okay, so I have to ask you. I wanted to do this earlier because I know I excuse me annoyed you, but what is that symbol when you do that?
Oh, the anger symbol.
That's what I
This one
thought.
here. This
Yes,
little
yeah.
nifty thing.
I
Yeah,
figured
that's
that's what
like
that was
yeah.
when we were chatting earlier. I'm like, I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna get into it with the conversation we were in, because my goal was not to make you mad. I was trying to make comparisons between some anime people and you, and I made bad comparisons.
They were very,
Yes.
very bad. I'm not going to lie,
So
they were awful.
so
And
I
if
just
you weren't
dropped it.
someone that I liked, we might have issues.
Yeah, so I just dropped it. I'm like, you know what? I fucked up. I'm just gonna be like, you know what? I'll just watch this. Maybe I'll say something about it later. And I saw I saw that come up. I'm like, you know, I'm just gonna throw myself on the carpet in front of the bus right now. Um, oh my god! As you bring up the whip,
No
uh,
one saw that.
no one saw that. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna throw myself out there. I need to verify what that means. I guess correctly, um, and then just I threw myself out there like I said something stupid, uh,
Yeah.
trying to be nice or cute, and didn't it did not come off that way, and I fucked up. I'm sorry. So
I
uh,
appreciate that.
you're welcome. Um, so uh, but yes, a lot of people will all automatically think Vampire the Masquerade video game, not realizing that there is a tabletop RPG for it.
And it came way beforehand.
See, now I knew of the video game before. Like all you had to say was, "Oh, I run Vampire Masquerade." I'm like, "Okay, it's tabletop."
Mhm.
Um, and at that moment, I'm like, "That makes sense. There's a tabletop RPG for that," without even knowing beforehand that it existed.
So, the tabletop RPG has actually been out for a very, very long time. Um, and as far as that goes, there is so much lore. Like, there are actual novels about this world. It's an entire world called the World of Darkness. So, this encompasses everything that you can think of, not just vampires. There's werewolves and fairies, and there's like 13 different bloodlines for each of the vampire clans, and there's novels for all of them, and different like clan books. It's really in depth and involved, and all of that existed ever before they made the video game. Um, but I am happy that they made the video game. I am really upset with the way they decided to pronounce Zimitsi. Um, Hello. But
Why?
other than that, so in the game, there is a clan in the game called the Zmitzi,
Mm-hmm.
but for whatever reason in the video game they decided to pronounce it Zemis,
It's a meese.
which
Does it look like it's?
Zmitzi,
Does it look like it's spelled that
Zemis.
way?
You know, it does like it has a really crazy spelling. It's like ZTMISCE or something ridiculous. Um, so it's understandable, but one would think that if you're making a game based on a game,
You would have
that
figured out how to
you
say it phonetically.
you might have, you know, read the books or even, I don't know, talked to the creators or something.
Referenced it.
Yeah, yeah. But it reminds me of the Avatar movie, like the Avatar The Last Airbender movie, where they somehow managed to pronounce the names wrong, even though you could hear them in the cartoon.
I
So,
I've never
whichever.
I've never watched the cartoon. I know the source material is actually pretty good. Uh, from what a lot of people tell me, and I will take their word for it. It's just never interested me. Now I did watch M Night Shyamalan's fucking train wreck of a movie.
Oh God,
I
it was
I,
so
I
bad.
rented it when it came out, and I watched it fucking hammered. And I'm like, this is a shit movie. Because usually, if I think something shit, I'll watch it drunk, and maybe I'll find some enjoyment out of it. I tried watching that like a year ago sober, and I'm like, I couldn't get fucking 15 minutes into it. I'm like, holy fucking shit, this really is the worst movie ever created.
So like with that movie, um, I think the biggest thing for me was you're maybe like 4 minutes into the movie, right? And they're pronouncing one of the main characters of the show. They're pronouncing his name as Soka, Soka, and it's not like they had to read it off of text and try to figure out, oh, how do I pronounce that? There was a literal cartoon where they probably said Sokka 150,000 times.
You know what bothers the shit out of me too is they kind of like, even as like an Indian like director, like he fucking whitewashed it.
Oh God, yeah,
Like that's kind of fucked
yeah,
up and stupid. Like either that was either
yeah,
a decision out of his hands, which I get it.
yeah. Like,
I love that. And that's fine. M9, like that sucks if you want to be like, hey man, I want this to be more source. Like I want to find actors that look more appropriate to the cartoon. So if this is a darker complected person, I want this person to be that. Or if they look this way, I just like, no, let's just get a white girl, white dude. Obviously, the Avatar, uh, like he's just a small little Krillin looking motherfucker. Um, that I understood that. That's not like that's actually seems pretty normal because even in the cartoon he's a little white dude. Um, but I even saw the like I saw bits of the cartoon. I'm like, uh, Korra doesn't is not a white chick.
oh God,
I'm like,
Cora,
I'm like,
Cora.
she she's a
Uh,
little bit dark complected. Like
Cora.
she probably could be like Thai or some shit. Or like some type of Asian. Like I'm like that's like you guys are just whitewashing. All the bad guys were fucking white. Uh,
Well, I mean, as far as like the original goes, because we're not going to talk about Cora. If you want to talk about Cora, find someone else. I refuse to acknowledge that that's a thing canonically. But
you're the first person
so
I've met that didn't like the Legend of Korra.
I absolutely hated Cora, but
Never watched it, but I'm just saying.
maybe I'm a bit of a hipster. I don't know. But as far as like the Avatar, the original goes, when you have like Katara and Sokka, they're from like this water tribe that has a very like living on the pole kind of thing. And I mean, I don't know how much like there is as far as a pool of like Inuit actors go to pull from. Like I feel like that probably would have been the best fit, is to pull someone of like Inuit descent. And I just don't know that there's very many of them to choose from.
No,
So
probably
maybe
not.
that's why they had issues with casting. I hope. I hope.
You probably should explain pole before you got so far in, before you said Inuit. Because as soon as you...
So the water tribes, there's a northern water tribe, which is like the North Pole, basically. And then there's also the southern water tribe, which is like Antarctica.
So they're not on the stripper pole or some dude's pole.
No, not at all.
Okay. You said that and I'm like,
See,
I know I'm not gonna be the only one that thinks the wrong way. Even though I know where you're going with it, I'm just gonna let
for the
you.
conversation about VTubing, stay for the conversation about Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yes. So I'm like, I'm gonna let you roll with this, and I'll make my joke. But yeah, that whole thing was just a shit show. How? All right, let's roll this back. How did we get into the conversation of Avatar? Oh, because we were talking about Vampire Masquerade. How the one vampire tribe was said incorrectly.
Yes, the Zamitsi.
Zamitsi?
It's okay. Oh my gosh! See, this is where speaking like a bloody leprechaun can really bite you in the arse sometimes. So it's Zim,
Zim?
like Invader
Vader
Zim,
Zim, yeah.
and then eat, like I'm going to eat some food,
Zim 8?
and
C. C. Zamate C.
like with your eyes, Zamitsi.
Zamate C. Okay.
That was dreadful, but that's all right.
You know, I have a Northeast Ohio accent, so
I do.
okay. I don't have this goofy leprechaun accent, so
Hey, hey, hey now. That's you're starting to cross a little bit of a line there, and we may have some issues now. I thought we were friends.
for us to follow our Twitters and Twatters and Twitwadas.
Now, me, I don't care if you want to follow me or not. The only thing that I am going to ask for out of this video for everybody watching is please go down in that comment section below and just put a thumbs up on that comment that says I want to see Rogue stream in a teddy. Because I've not forgotten about that.
Good luck.
That's the only thing I want. It's the only thing I ask for. Please just hit the thumbs up button.
Won't work, mate. Won't work. And no cheating. You can't cheat either.
Is it cheating if I get my Twitter followers to come and press the thumbs up button?
Yeah, but they also have to put the thumbs up on the video, though, too.
See, now you're adding extra variables.
No. I think that's fair.
I mean, obviously I would like everyone to watch the video, but I'm in it for the teddy.
You said Teddy, right?
Yes,
Okay.
for the teddy.
All right. I want to make sure you didn't say titty. I mean, that will be there, too. I do have lovely mitts. Are you wondering what mitts are?
I don't think I want to know.
Well, I'm going to tell you anyways. They are man tits.
Oh, now you see, I've heard them called moves.
Yes, I used to call them moves for a long time, but I'm just like, I need something that just sounds fucking harder. So I'm gonna start calling them mitts, and it's confusing as shit. You're like, what the fuck are mitts? What, like oven?
Harder?
Like oven mitts?
See, I immediately thought of mittens.
Yeah, like that's also the point of it.
But I don't know if that's harder because I thought of
It's
like,
harder sounding. It has a harder It's like moobs. You're like, moobs. You say mitts, the T and the S. Mitts. You put on some mittens. Throw some snowballs.
I mean, all right then.
Be
I'm
super.
thinking more of like big, fluffy, knitted, like bright pink mittens.
Or some like
But
Bernie Sanders mitts.
yes, only pink.
Only pink.
Yes. I mean, at least the ones I was picturing were like pink and sort of sparkly. Can you make sparkly mittens without sequins? I wonder. I wonder.
I don't know.
If anyone knows the answer to that, please feel free to DM it to me. Like, my DMs on Twitter are always open. Can you make sparkly knitted mittens without the use of sequins?
Just slide into her DMs.
Yes, please. I promise not to abduct you to the Fae realm as long as you have an answer to my question.
Now,
If it's anything else, user beware.
what is a fae? I know what I kind of know what a fae is because we've had conversations about this. But explain a fae, and are you drinking out of the bottle?
I would absolutely never do something like that. You believe me, right? Internet?
Well, as long as people
Somebody?
as long as people aren't observant, they will believe you. Or hear what I'm hearing, because what I'm hearing is a bottle being pulled away from your lips and going clunk or kerblunk as the liquid pulls away from the neck of the bottle.
You hear absolutely nothing.
So, give me cliff notes on what the Fae are.
Okay, so the Fae is a general term used for fairy, or real quick short version. Back in the day, the Tuatha De Danann ruled the land of Ireland, and then the Fomorians came in and were like, "GTFO, bitches," and forced them all underground into the other world, which is known as Tir na Nog, and all of their offspring are collectively known as the Fae.
Which are tricksters, are they not?
Some of us can be, yes.
Okay. And could you also be referred to as a pixie?
Yes, actually, I am a pixie. I am pagan pixie. Uh-huh. Um, some of us are pixies, some of us are fairies, some of us are just absolute arseholes, like she who would paint herself as the first amongst the Fae. Uh, there's also leprechauns, um, and lots of other creatures.
Now,
Uh,
correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't pixies in Irish druidic lore troublemakers?
um, yes and no. So, yes, there are, of course, absolutely stories of pixies being troublesome. But, to be fair, pretty much everything Irish, there's stories about them being troublesome. So, stereotyping, not cool, man. Not cool.
But if this, I know people don't like this when it's said, but sometimes stereotypes are true.
Listen here. Now, just because I happen to like me whiskey and adore potatoes does not give you the right to say it.
or that you're a troublemaker.
Well, I mean, but I am though. That's kind of my whole shtick.
It is very much. And she is a troublemaker, by the way. She is a trickster. But not
But
in a...
can you prove that though?
Not that I want to. But not in a bad way. She's not like a trickster or a troublemaker in a way that... Let me put it this... In a very lighthearted, lovable way, she is a pain in the ass. And that was an adorable face you just made.
That's my oh my god, VTuber so kawaii face. Because I've come to understand that every VTuber has to have the VTuber so kawaii.
Kawaii!
Because like my voice is not meant to sound like a 6-year-old Japanese girl. Sorry, internet.
You know, after I stopped smoking, I thought I'd be able to do some things again, like do guttural voice or do real high pitched stuff. Can't do it. Like you give me shit like in the game I'm streaming. I've been streaming a lot at the moment. Every time Leroy Jenkins shows up, like if I don't give a Leroy Jenkins, like I can do it for a long time because my lung capacity is obviously grown, but like I've also lost 20% of my lung. Like it's still like the higher pitch stuff I do like hurts my fucking voice box, and I haven't like so. Next Saturday will be exactly 2 years completely tobacco free.
Congrats! Oh my gosh. It's not a live stream, but like hype in the chat.
Thank you. I've obviously like I've felt the difference in the recovery, like in my body rebuilding itself, to what damages has been done. But it's funny because like that high pitched stuff, like you just tried to do, like or even like when I do a Leroy Jenkins thing, like I can't do that shit either because it just like it hits my vocal cords like. Nah, bruh. You ain't doing that shit.
To be fair.
Like
11 o'clock at night. And I've been drinking. A lot. A lot.
What's a lot?
A lot.
A lot.
Let's see. Hold on. Oh my god, VTuber's the kawaii!
Oh.
Yeah, that's the best I can do.
My.
That's all you're getting. That's it.
That is something.
That's it.
All right.
There you go. There's the Rogue exclusive. Never going to happen again.
As you give the angry symbol. All right. Do you have anything you want to add to this podcast? Do you have any questions for me? Any?
You see, when he invites you on this thing, user beware. Like, you don't know that you're expected to like make questions, and I think he did this to put me on the spot here, little bit.
I did.
All right then. Perfect question. What exactly do you have going on as far as projects, as far as like the path forward? Like, what does the next 3 months of Rogue Meatwad look like?
The next 3 months is little improvements to the Twitch channel, which you have helped out a bit, Jammy, and these are just stupid little improvements. At least they are in my eyes. Yeah, I think me and you've had this discussion of like I don't want to be a overly or a sensory overload streamer, so I don't want to have too many small games and shit going on. Like I want people to interact more with me and with the chat. but I also want to do things like community nights that you'll end up doing, like Jammy has done. Like I want to and because my schedule is so chaotic, it's hard for me. Like today when I was streaming earlier this morning, if I knew there was at least seven or 10 people that would have been like, hey, yes, I want to do that, I would have switched over to Jackbox Games, and we would have done that for an hour or two or however long. I would have done that. So I will be incorporating at least maybe one night in my Twitch streams when I do it to a community night where it's a community game. I do like Jackbox shit though, especially like Quiplash. I love Quiplash, but I want to do things that are a bit more interactive. As far as my YouTube channel, I just need to I need to come down with a better scheduling thing for my podcast. It's a little bit harder because half the people I want to talk to are generally not even in this time zone. So you being where you're at, this was easy to set up. We're not really outing ourselves. Like with Jammy, like me and him have to coordinate pretty well. Which obviously he's going to be a staple guest on my show. Hopefully you will be too. Every once in a while.
No, I think I've done one and that's it. That's all you get. I'm never ever coming back.
Okay, well that'll change. And then just I have to improve my skill set on tasting. I will be doing more than just whiskey reviews. I've already done one gin review, but I'm going to do more gins. I'm going to start doing tequilas. I really won't be doing gameplays. I did start the channel out doing that, but I think that's kind of it's overdone. I mean, people do reviews of shit too, and podcasts, but I want to separate my Twitch content from my YouTube content. And I think you're kind of doing that too, because it seems like your YouTube stuff's going to be more geared towards your faith and your and your tabletop stuff, and then Twitch is going to be more of your nerdy RPG and shit like that.
Well, I don't want to make it sound like my YouTube is just going to be like me angelicizing or getting all evangelical and be like, here's why you should be a druid. No. You can probably expect a lot of rants about current events and that sort of thing. People do that all the time, where you're looking at something through their particular lens, right? Through a Republican lens or the lens of a lawyer or whatever have you. Instead, we're going to take a look at things through the lens of a Bronze Age druid, because why not? Why not?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I didn't mean to speak for you, but I was kind of just giving you, using you as an example. And obviously, I've done that. I've steered away from gameplay on my YouTube channel down to, okay, I want it to be these weird comedic whiskey reviews. And then my podcast that will be dependent on who the guest is or what's going on in the world. That's what I want to talk about. Obviously, you're an interesting character. One, because I wanted to talk about the VTube thing because it was on the fringe of what I knew. And then getting to know you better, I've understood it more. I want to sit down and talk with you about it on it, in a recording. And then just chit chat with you. And pick your brain on stuff. And because you're an Irish American, and you're a pretty cool person so far. Let's see how time tells with that.
I mean, like I said at the top, I am a VTuber, which means I am just automatically better than you at everything.
Likewise, she may be true. This might be the one and only time she's ever on the Rogues Gallery. So, and by the way, I'm pretty sure I fucked up that intro and I didn't say this was Rogue Gallery 3. I kind of just anyways, it'll be the title video, so who the fuck cares? See, unlike you, I was actually, that's not fair to say because I don't know what you did before this. I was actually drinking before this while I was playing video games with Jamie and Slim. So
I was too, and I actually have been this whole time. For whatever reason, I say that as if I don't know why, but every time I actually take a drink, the bottle obscures the face tracking software, so my avatar kind of like has a bit of a conniption fit.
yeah, and that's why it looks like you're kind of having a seizure, probably. Okay. Any other questions for me?
Yes. What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow?
African or European?
Both.
Well, this was Rogues Gallery 3 with Miss PaeganPixie. No one can answer that question. You know that, right?
I actually don't, because there actually is an answer.
Yeah, but you don't answer it though. That's the whole point. It's a ridiculous question in a ridiculous movie.
I know. Monty Python is catnip for nerds, and I refuse to be told otherwise.
This is very true. What the fuck is going on here? Um Yeah, and you don't ever answer that question because they never answer it. You can answer what's your favorite color or what is your quest. But
The answer is 24 miles per hour.
oh my god. That's a lie. Don't listen to her. She's trying to trick you.
Most likely, yeah. You should never take anything that I say seriously, ever.
Not at all.
Ever.
So, oh, I just caught that.
What?
Oh, nothing. Nothing. I don't want to get beat. So, in closing, do you have anything else here, Miss Pixie?
I mean, I would just like to say you should make sure to hit that little button down there so that this guy will stop asking all of us to do it instead. Help, please. I'm just kidding. He's not like that at all.
Even though that's what I did when you went up and took a piss.
Is it really?
Yes, it is. I plugged us like while you were gone. And then what I hope to do next weekend. So which I'll talk to you after this. Because I don't know.
What am I getting roped into this time?
Nothing. I don't know exactly what I want to do, but I'm gonna throw a fish hook out with you. So, like I said, and whatever may come, like there's other shit that I want to fall in place before. You'll get it. We'll get it. You'll understand when we talk. But anyways, yeah. Thank you, especially if anyone's made it this far. Much appreciated. I already did the plug thing. So, once again, follow us, like buttons, all that fun fucking shit. Please check her out February 2nd. Or would it be the 2nd? February 1st is Monday, right?
February 1st. So, by the time anyone sees this video,
It'll be the 2nd.
I will have already debuted. But I will be streaming every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Yes. So please, I will link her YouTube, her Twitch, and her Twitter down below and all that. So like I said, something simple that you can do for us. Just hit the follows, the fucking subscribes, all that fun shit. We'd appreciate it. The world's fucked up enough crazy shit going on. So try not to be dickheads to each other. The best you can. There's enough hate. Why don't we just... And you don't have to go love everyone. You just have to not be a dick. It's that simple. So, I guess we're done today. So, y'all have a good one. Boy, 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 boy.